It is the idea of fulfilling our own needs while also preserving our resources for future generations to fulfill their own needs. It is our responsibility to keep the world running for the future. In the context of agriculture, sustainability is defined mainly by three factors, which are its economic, environmental, and social implications. As a farmer, it's my responsibility to minimize the harm that I'm doing to the environment while also using cost-effective methods for my day-to-day production. I also have to make sure that the yield that I'm producing is able to feed and nurture a population while also taking care of my own well-being. These factors are interconnected and together they make up sustainability. Now the question is, why do we need a sustainable approach to agriculture? Well, as of today itself, our population is of over 8 billion people and everybody's 3 meals a day requirement needs to be fulfilled. The number is expected to increase up to 9.7 billion by the year 2050, and to feed that population, our current production levels will have to increase by 70%. The reason why this is such a big problem is the limited, the resources that we have. They're limited. We have got limited land and we do not have a lot of wine. So we need to increase our efficiency because scarcity, the basic economic problems, that is unlimited needs but limited resources, is something that very well applies over here. So we need to increase our efficiency, and that is where technology comes into play. My son has owned a farm for several decades now, and in his childhood, my father adored agriculture. He even spent a few years as an agricultural entrepreneur, and in that duration, I was myself exposed to the different ways technology can be used in day-to-day agricultural production to improve its efficiency. I was 11 or 12 at that time, and I was fascinated to see the potential technology holds to transform agriculture. Global farming is transitioning from its traditional practices to the new data-driven approach. Data-driven approach is deemed as the most promising way for us to tackle the 2050 food problem by agricultural scientists. It is this technique that means to map entire farms with lots and lots of data, and that could be collected through drones, through sensors, through analytical software, and even automated machinery such as robotics and self-driving tractors. All of this is essentially data. What are the nutrient levels of my soil? Is my soil moist enough or is it too moist? These are the type of questions I can easily answer by building such maps that enable precision farming. Precision farming is the ability to do site-specific applications, that is, to know exactly what part of your farms require what. Usually what farmers would do is that they would irrigate their entire farms and they would apply pesticide all across their crops. Not very efficient, right? Precision farming has proven to produce better and increased amounts of yield. So that takes the checkbox for food security. Then of course it's very cost effective as you're using less resources to produce more yield. That is very good for the environment too because you're using minimal amounts of pesticides, minimal amounts of fertilizers. You're not putting in more nitrogen than needed. And most importantly is saving a lot of water. So you see, all three factors of sustainable agriculture are neatly targeted by the use of technology and data in modern agriculture. However, wherever there's data, there's always the risk for cybersecurity. This is something that is not talked about a lot, and I think people should be more aware of it. Just imagine a security breach in a sector that is directly related to your basic need of food. Who would want that, right? I have something I'd like to show. Cyber attacks in the agriculture sector is a growing concern. This right here is a screenshot of a conversation between a US-based grains company called New Cooperative and a ransomware group that goes by the name Black Matter. As you can see, the representative from the company is desperately trying to explain how critical their attack is, the problem it's facing. They've put in some numbers. They're stating that 40% of their production relies on the data that has been infiltrated with. and they tried to highlight the severity of the problem by telling how this attack has the potential to disrupt the food supply chain. But the ransomware group does not care. Black Matter, in one of its posts, said that it doesn't attack critical infrastructure. But here we are. They're hackers after all. What else can you expect them to do apart from deception? Anyways, by attacking such critical infrastructure, these groups feed on the psychological impact that is created on such businesses that are an integral part of the food supply chains. Because of their importance, because of their worth in the economy, these companies are pressurized by such ransomware groups. They're put into a position where they're left with no choice but to pay the ransom that they've been demanded for. In the case of New Cooperative, the company was demanded $5.9 million in ransom. And if they would have failed to pay this price, it would have doubled to $11.8 million. Fortunately, the company did not give it to the threat, and at an immediate measure, they shut down all of their operations and made everything offline. Now, even though the threat was contained, just imagine 40% of this company's production suddenly stopping, all of us out of the blue. This isn't the only attack. I'll talk about another one in a moment. But the consequences of such attacks do not align with our 2050 goal. An Italian-based dairy company had also fallen victims to one of these ransomware groups. And since it's a dairy farm, all of its products are related to milk, which are prone to being spoiled, which in fact they did. Due to the attack, their deliveries and operations were delayed by weeks, causing a lot of financial issues, financial losses, and wastage of products. So that right there isn't exactly what we need for our sustainability. Financial losses for both the company as well as the labor, the farmers who worked hard for it. So that compromised food security, that compromised labor well-being. The environment got affected as well as a huge economic disadvantage. So these consequences are exact opposites of what makes agriculture sustainable. If these attacks aren't prevented, then it is going to be more challenging for us to tackle the 2050 problem. But as it is with any problems, solutions for this exist too, and I'd like to talk about a few. First is to train your farmers. Farmers are working at the very core of the production for any agricultural firm. A lot of farmers aren't even equipped with technical skills, let alone knowledge in cybersecurity. So it's important that there's investments in training these farmers so that they're well aware of the use of technology as well as the risks associated with them. If the farmers are able to maintain the operations at the core level, ensure smooth operations, then it's only going to benefit the company and prevent such cybersecurity threats. Next is to invest in cybersecurity infrastructure. So this is basically investing in better antivirus software, better firewall, all that stuff. In the case of New Cooperative, one of the members of their boards admitted that they did not have a positive control over their IT systems. So, of course, that did not serve them well, and they fell victim to one of these ransomware groups. So, yeah, to invest in cybersecurity infrastructure is very essential, especially for agricultural sectors. Then third is network segmentation, which is growing to be a popular method to deal with cybersecurity among agricultural firms. And this basically means to isolate your IoT devices from the main operational network. If let's say a cybersecurity attack does happen and it infiltrates through the main operational network, your IoT systems will still be safe from its immediate effects. You can still continue to collect your data, which is ultimately what you need while you deal with your operational network breach. Then the fourth, which I think is one of the most common measures against cybersecurity attacks, not just in agriculture, but everywhere, that is to take frequent updates and backups. Regularly updating and keep taking backups frequently would help these firms to have the latest possible data to continue with while they tackle with the problem. So to conclude, the role cybersecurity plays in making agriculture sustainable is that of safeguarding the technology that we're using for our agricultural productions. We have certain goals that need to be achieved, such as the 2050 food problem, and our greatest hope is that using technology. So it's important we secure these technologies, we enforce cybersecurity more strongly, and embrace sustainability. Thank you.